Imagine that one day you find a door leading to an unprecedented discovery. There is a whole world of new knowledge and possibilities hiding inside you, just as archaeologists once discovered the hidden tomb of a forgotten pharaoh. The only question is, can you decide to open this door without being afraid of your own fears? Back in 1922, the English archaeologist Howard Carter, together with his patron Lord Carnarvon, excavated the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, KV 62. The discovery became a real sensation. The treasures, almost untouched by the looters, amazed the whole world. Why did everything happen at the beginning of the 20th century? Perhaps historical science had just gained strength, and the world was hungry for new discoveries. Or maybe it's the fate of the boy pharaoh himself. Tutankhamun was about 10 years old when he ascended the throne. To finally highlight a forgotten page of Egyptian history. To this day, the golden mask of Tutankhamun and the mysteries associated with it haunt Egyptologists. With its brilliance alone, it can raise as many questions as an entire library on the history of ancient Egypt cannot always raise. One of the most heated discussions around Tutankhamun is the issue of his family. There are different versions in the inscriptions from the tombs. He could have been the son of the heretic pharaoh Akhenaten, who tried to establish the cult of the only god Aten and radically change the religious system of Egypt. Either the father was Smenkhkare, the mysterious successor of Akhenaten, the latter's son, in-law, or brother. In 2010, the results of DNA studies conducted under the leadership of Egyptologist Zahi Hawass appeared. They pointed out that Tutankhamun was indeed the son of the mummy from tomb KV 55, presumably Akhenaten, and the younger lady from KV 35. But the story here has not become unambiguously clear. Some scientists, for example, the Russian Egyptologist A.O. Bolshakov, have disputed these conclusions, believing that the epigraphic data contradict the results of the analysis. The boy pharaoh ascended the throne under the name Tutankhaten, the living embodiment of Aten. But a year later, he had to change it to Tutankhamun in honor of the main god Amun, returning the polytheistic cult to Egypt. Why such a drastic turn? Were these his own beliefs? Or have the gray cardinals, the regents and priests, chosen the ideal puppet for religious restoration? Tutankhamun and his wife Ankhesenamun, the daughter of Akhenaten and Nefertiti, supported the new, old belief. At the same time, looking at the monuments of the era, we do not see any persecution of the cult of the Aten. The Temple of the Sun continued to exist, and the images of Akhenaten and the solar disk of the Aten in the early years of Tutankhamun's reign had not yet been destroyed. Some items from Tutankhamun's tomb, according to scientists, were originally intended for other rulers, and the pair of tiny sarcophagi with stillborn children found there is direct evidence that the pharaoh, despite his youth, had already managed to start a family. After the death of Lord Carnarvon, who financed the excavations, a legend arose about the curse of the pharaohs. They say, everyone who touches the tomb of the king is doomed. The press was happy to fuel these rumors. Mysterious deaths, ancient powers. However, statistics show otherwise. Most of the expedition members lived a long life, and Howard Carter died only in 1939 at the age of 64. Many scientists believe that the curse is just a way to create a sensation, while simultaneously stimulating the tourist flow to Egypt. Not so long ago, British Egyptologist Professor Joanne Fletcher hypothesized that the legendary golden mask could not have belonged to a boy king at all, but perhaps to a female pharaoh, for example, Nefertiti. Fletcher points out the pierced ears on the mask and the difference in gold alloys. Egyptian experts are skeptical of this version, noting that almost all pharaohs of the 18th dynasty wore earrings, and there is no clear mention of Nefertiti's name on the mask or in the inscriptions. The truth remains sealed in layers of gold. What if something new comes up in the archives of Howard Carter or in the new DNA analysis of artifacts? What happens if everything you believed in turns out to be an illusion? Science loves to break stereotypes. The mask weighs more than 10 kilograms. Its height is about 54 centimeters. On the reverse side, there is a hieroglyphic text, a magic spell for the transition of the pharaoh to another world. The pharaoh boy died at the age of 19. Of all the versions, there are usually several. Accident. Fell from a chariot and suffered a hip injury that could have led to infection. Malaria. DNA studies, 2010, revealed the causative agents of malaria, and medicines against it were found in the tomb. Genetic diseases. Tutankhamun suffered from clubfoot, Kohler's disease, and other pathologies related to closely related marriages. The murder theory has not yet been unequivocally confirmed, although it has been romanticized by many writers. The question remains open. Will you really give up everything at the very last moment, when you have almost reached your goal? Perhaps someone from the pharaoh's entourage decided that otherwise Tutankhamun would become too independent? Secrets that have yet to be revealed. Biological mother. Yes, we know that the mummy from KV-35 is the pharaoh's parent, but who is she by name? Akhenaten? Smenkhkare? It's still a mystery. The fleeting marriage of Akhenaten. Where did the queen disappear to after her husband's death? There were only rumors about her alliance with advisor Ai. Akhenaten's true intention. Was it an experiment in religious monotheism or a political strategy against the priesthood? The research of pharaohs like Tutankhamun is not only about ancient treasures. This means that any curses and conspiracies disappear when there is scientific understanding and the courage to ask the right questions. What if your most exciting discovery is yet to come? And what would you do if new information overturned your previous beliefs? We will be glad if you speak out in the comments. Who do you think benefits from a new discussion about the true owner of the golden mask? Do you believe in the curse of the pharaohs, or is it just a journalistic duck?